Okay, let's go ahead and bring it up.
It's
About
also
5 seconds.
wheelchairs, so you can leave as fast as possible.
Push yourself away
Okay.
from the equality table.
What did you see? Could I have somebody share out for us? What were some things you talked about in your conversation about what you saw on the table? At this picture of the table, what did you see? Jamie, what was something you guys talked about?
Well, I focused in on the round table instead of harsh edges.
Anybody else? Focus on that? Okay, good. What else? I heard someone say something about Jennifer. You guys said.
Well, it just looks like it's like a meeting room, a boardroom, like a serious conversation is going to be happening in it somewhere like that, not because it's more professional looking.
Okay, very good. What other ideas?
Well, Laura had a really good share what you shared with me. 'Cause that makes sense.
Well, I wanted to share something about something I'd read, but I couldn't remember the details, so I felt like it was charades actually. But this idea that in the argument we can have that image of everybody being around a dinner table, everybody having different opinions. Uncle Joe's opinion might be really different. Maybe somebody gets up and leaves, and then the argument's not even present then. And it just makes it so, I don't know, kind of visceral, like we can just see it and feel it.
Exactly. So it's round. So nobody's at the head of the table. There's a place for everyone to be seated at the table. They're talking about something. They're having a conversation that's important to them. So yeah, this is a.
There's also wheels on the chairs,
Mm.
which to me represented fluidity of ideas.
Okay. So that's great. This is the conversation. So we are going to be doing a lot of reading and writing and talking about drones. Has anybody know the definition of civilian? What does civilian mean? What does it mean by civilian? Robert?
Non-government.
Yes, non-government. My kids said like ordinary people.
And native.
Go ahead.
And native, not foreign.
Okay, so people in our country, not a foreign group, not a government group, so not the military, not the firefighters, not the police, just ordinary people. That's what that was important in terms of just language. Okay, so I would like you to talk with a partner. What do you know about drones? Do you have a drone? Do you know someone who has a drone? Let's take about 45 seconds. Just discuss briefly with your partner what you know about drones.
They call them quadcopters.
Oh,
technically
airport.
True
Well,
drone.
I was thinking like, wasn't it during science?
The drones that.
There was something I read
I
about.
think a drone has to be
Like
autonomous
it would
in some
interact
regard.
with. I don't know. Why don't you tell me what you
Find
know?
out. Yeah. Oh, we're not going to find a good definition of drone.
I see these at like the grocery store now.
Yeah. I remember when they were relatively new, these quadcopters, and it was like a big deal to see one, and they were like thousands of dollars, and now, it's like 50 or
Okay,
something.
can everybody's attention back to here in about 7 seconds.
Yeah.
I just want a definition of a drone.
There's only tried it ever once. I don't think so. Can we put
Good.
Okay. I would like you to write down now some ideas, some things that you know about drones. So go ahead and write. Remember, we're trying to get to our 120 words. And just a little kind of, in my class, I actually had them write
Remote
first,
control.
and then I had them talk, and then I had them write again, because I found that they were able to extend their ideas about drones, what they knew about drones, and I wanted them to have that idea that by talking about something, you can increase your knowledge about it. But we didn't have to do that today here, so go ahead and write down for about, let's take about 1.5 minutes to write as much as you can that you know about drones. seconds. Okay, wrap up your last sentence. So there's a little note in here that this might be a place where you could actually do some sort of formative assessment where you can kind of assess how your kids are thinking or what they're doing. And I'll just share with you that in my class what I noticed right away is they were all talking about the fun aspects of drones and how much fun they were, and their uncle has one, he flies them around and all this sort of thing. So just briefly, what are some things you guys know about drones?
Ooh, they can deliver medical supplies to remote locations.
Excellent. That's a good thing, right?
You've done some
I
research.
have done my own research.
Spy on you by taking pictures, video you.
Okay. That doesn't sound so much fun.
That's fine.
Depends on what
They've
you're
offered a new outlet for photography that didn't exist before. You could get angles and see things in a way that most people
That
wouldn't
could
be
be
able to do.
fun too. That could be a cool thing.
They make me feel creepy when I see one hanging in my cul-de-sac.
I was at the, I shared this with my
A little
students too. I was
paranoid.
down at the Christmas,
I don't think they're
the
interested in you.
holiday
Oh,
parade that
boring.
Ashland puts on. And up in the sky, there's some little lights flashing. And I said to my husband, what's that? First I thought it was an airplane in the distance, but then no, it was flying around. He said, oh, that's a drone. Kind of freaked me out a little bit too. It was a little creepy. I go, ooh, whose is that? What are they doing? That's what I wanted to know. Any other ideas that we know about drones?
A drone hit on an airplane is much more damaging than birds or wildlife.
Wow. Okay.
Depends on the size of the drone, doesn't it?
Well, anyone can own one. They pay for it.
Oh, that's right. I saw some in the mall yesterday. I was out looking at some Christmas presents, and there was a whole rack of drones
But
that
a
you could
drone-
buy. Any ones that were
a
like
big commercial
this one, those were about this big to
Like a metal frame.
this big, right?
Drones the same
Yeah.
size as the
We use it for
Okay.
space travel.
So this discussion
size the drones.
This discussion can really inform you as a teacher about where your kids' knowledge level is. And with any text set, if you did this lesson with another text set, and of course you'd have to do up the whole PowerPoint that goes with this too, but I don't know if you want to. Anyway, it can kind of get give you a sense about where your kids are. And with me, it was like really clear. They just all were talking about how fun it was, and they had no idea about the medical supplies or the airplane or the other privacy type issues.
About
Yes.
Should I change my mind to be invisible now? No.
Interesting.
I know I can fly a drone.
Yes, conversations often change our minds.
It's true.
So, there's the large group here. We just did that.
But
Okay.
you were not.
So, here is some background. This is a headline from a newspaper. Drone sales soaring this Christmas, capping a record year for the industry. And of course, this was from 2016. A drone is now, and this is an excerpt from the newspaper.
See what you did.
A drone is now one of the most sought-after gifts. Twice as many drones will be sold in 2016 as the previous year, numbering 2.5 million drones.
Well, you can't.
The
know
Consumer Technology Association says sales during Christmas season will more than double over last year. So this is excerpt from a newspaper article. So this is taken out of a newspaper article. This was the headline.
There's no way for them to know that. The thing hadn't happened yet.
Where's the citation? December.
Well, there's a
Well, we have to
citation,
look
but
down in
like,
that
December
article.
23rd,
It's a
2016.
prediction.
It's pretty far.
It is a prediction.
but they're
It's not a
not.
fact.
They haven't tabulated the numbers yet. Like that's not how businesses work.
Should we look that up, Bobby?
We could now
Yeah.
because 2016 is in the distant past.
Look it up. See if it was now.
There you go.
How
We have
many
fact.
drones?
It says twice as many drones will be sold. You
There it
can't
is,
tell me
2016.
businesses don't have ways of predicting how much they're going to sell.
Hold up.
That's
You
not all
cannot
out there.
tell me that. Mr. Argument over there.
Yeah, that's
He's good at it.
Will be
me.
sold.
Listen, I'm a contrarian on purpose.
Well, there you go.
It's a good question.
So,
This is the
class
Washington
discussion, what do you
Post.
think?
Is it true?
It's the 23rd. This is the same article. This is not helpful.
Okay, discussion?
Wait, what are we discussing? The
It's
Well,
the
that, I
Molly
mean,
Pool.
what I wrote when I wrote about drones was, like it or not, they're not going back in the box. Like, we're dealing
Yeah,
with drones
this is
now.
the thing.
So, like, how are we going to deal with them now that they're out?
This
They're sought after.
I didn't know they were that big of a thing.
Yeah, didn't know they were that big of a deal.
I think they are.
That's kind of
What year
surprising.
was this published?
They say that was going to be a record year last year. I don't know. Do you think they're going to even be more popular
one.
this year?
Has said.
Did you guess that?
what's the
I was thinking, based on what I saw
what is the
in the
label?
mall.
Like, what does the average person use a drone?
Because
My only
your
interest
favorite
is
YouTube
photography.
star uses one, and so you think you can use one to make such cool pictures. It's like when GoPros became really big. Now you just slap your GoPro on a drone and throw it in the
Whoever
air.
was driving that drone watched me take out the garbage.
Yeah.
It's pretty exciting.
Sounds like a
And it's kind of weird to think that that could be the kid
And I
next
was
door
married.
playing around and putting it on YouTube.
It's
Just
it's
saying.
like when
Okay.
I was a
The
kid.
stalkers
All right.
will love it.
What
I
was the
still
toy?
don't
Oh, I
understand how
never had any
Amazon
toys. Ignore
delivers
it.
the packages with them.
They
I
don't.
I thought they
They
were.
don't.
I thought they wanted
That was
to, but that's
that was the
not
thing.
actually
It's not
happening.
happening.
Maybe because it doesn't make sense.
So the slide before showed how popular drones were. People want drones as gifts, so they must be great, right? No, not everyone thinks so. There's a big conversation going on about civilians using drones, and so let's do some research to find out what people are saying about this. And
There's
I
no
really like
facts about this.
this part here because my kids need help with like, what is research? Okay, my students have readers, writers, notebooks, so I said take out, and you guys can start on a piece of page, take out a page of your writer's notebook and you're going to write a thinking tracker.
It's time. I've run out of extra paper.
In your thinking tracker, this is where I watched, I'm going to step into I watched Beth Reimer, and she is great. If you can watch any of her lessons or videos on the website, you should watch her. She did a thing on writer's notebooks and the importance of them, and I shared this with my students to help them understand why we keep writer's notebooks. She said, it's a place for us to practice our thinking. So right now, I'm going to ask you to put a place in your notebook so you can practice your thinking about drones. Where is your thinking right now? You're practicing your thinking. The other point about writer's notebooks is a place to put your things down that you have choices about. When you record things in your writer's notebook, it gives you choices about what you want to write, what you want to select, what you want to put. So it's a place to collect your choices, a place that you can make, a place where you can collect choices that you can look at for later. It also holds your ideas. It holds your thinking. So it's a place for you to hold your thinking right now. And then in our, so I read our